Hi there, you're watching Silver Anchor, and this is Tarot Tuesday. Got a new series we're starting now because I just got a new tarot deck. I got the Toast deck as a gift. So it was designed by Aleister Crowley and painted by Lady Frida Harris. It includes a booklet of instructions with 2 essays by the artist and a foreword. The 78 card Crowley tarot deck and a stunning new edition with the original paintings. It took some time to publish this when I was reading the booklet. So look at this as kind of an unboxing. Yet these are not new, they're just new to me. So you know my opinion on how cards should be a gift. And I've been thinking about it a lot, and some people think it's not, and then their cards work fine. So I think it's whatever you believe is what will be. So, right, that Ford quote, if you believe you can or cannot, you're right. So if you believe they have to be a gift, then they need to be, because then they won't work for you. But if you don't believe it, then you're fine. So I believe it. But I also like the idea of only your first deck needs to be a gift. But I did not have good luck when I bought my own second or third deck. So this was a gift to me. So we're getting to know the cards. So that's the new series we're going to do, is how to learn a new deck. At least this episode is going to explain that. So the first thing, it comes with a nice little book. It's good to read. It's got more information than just the definitions, but maybe some spread examples, where the deck came from, how it was made. There's a lot in this little tiny booklet. There's actually 3 different definitions for each card from different perspectives. One of them is more of the artist description, because Crowley designed them, right? But he hired an artist to actually paint them. So they had to collaborate. They thought it would take 3 months. It took them 5 years. So it comes with a few extra cards. It's got one for the Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO. It has the, I forget the name of it, but it's the 6-sided, 6-pointed star that Crowley liked with the rose. I forget what it's called. I know it's associated with Lima. And then we have the deck itself. We have 78 cards. So the first thing I'm going to do to get to know them, I'm going to look at each and every single one as I divide them into their suits. And they call the major arcana trumps. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Okay, so now that I have everything sorted, I'm going to go through each pile and then put them in numerical order. And I've also noticed on the backs that these are not the same upside down as they are right side up, so you would know if you had a reversal ahead of time. So y'all know I don't really read them much. So I'm going to go ahead and sort these into numerical order. There's 4 court cards. You've got the Queen, Knight, Prince, and Princess. So we're going to stack them all up. I think this goes wands, cups, swords, discs, and then trumps. And now that they're all in order and happy, I'm going to shuffle them up. You might be, what was all that about? It's good to just keep doing that over and over again. It lets you get to know the cards. I feel like it relaxes them in a way, like they feel better. One thing I've noticed about this deck is it's much bigger than the one I'm used to, so it's difficult to shuffle in the way that I usually do. So I'm probably just going to swirl them, even though I feel like that doesn't mix them up as much because they kind of stay in the same order. I noticed a lot of them were still kind of together, so I think it would take a lot of shuffling in order to get them thoroughly mixed. But I'm not going for that. I'm not doing a reading. I'm just going to find one card to look at. But I didn't want them still in order, or I don't know, I'd be biased, right? I'd be like, well, I want to do this card, and it's probably over here. So this is your card of the day. And it's the best practice to learn a deck. It's what I tell everyone when they start new. What do I do? I said, well, draw a card of the day and get a journal. So I'm just gonna, this one right here. So we got 9 of Wands. It says strength. So we'll put these over here. And we're just gonna meditate on this card. I'm seeing 4 here, and 1 in the middle. And we have Sagittarius and the moon, and then the sun on the other end. And the word it says is strength. Also seeing some kind of star in the background. Oh, and each one of these is tipped with moons. Lots of moons on the fletching. So they look like arrows, which corresponds to the Sagittarius here. So I'm going to get out my journal. I couldn't wait. I went ahead and did one yesterday. I got the Hermit. I want you to see my notes, see how casual they are. These are just for me. I'm not going to publish these or anything. But it's just a way to get to know the cards. So today we've got 9 of Wands. And it says strength. So I've already looked at the illustrations. To get more insight, I'm going to use the booklet that came with the deck and look up the definitions. Now, as I mentioned, there's actually 3 different groups of definitions, which kind of makes it interesting. So 9 of Wands, this first group just has the key words: power, health, success after opposition and strife, tremendous force, recovery from sickness, victory after apprehension and fear. Oh, I like that one. I'm going to write down the ones that resonate with me. After apprehension and fear. Power, health. Success after opposition. So this next group, this might not be true for most decks, but this one's a little bit different than the weight deck and other decks that are based upon it. And that's why I was really interested in it. So 9 of Wands is in strength. Hesed in the suit of fire. Moon in Sagittarius. Facade. And that's what we see down here. We see the moon in Sagittarius. The wands have become arrows, 8 in number, and one master arrow which has the moon for its point and the sun as its driving force above it. This card gives the fullest development of the force in its relation to the forces above it. So this one's more of an artist experimentation. They are written by the artist. And I imagine these were directed by Crowley, and then she drew from that. And then they had to go back and edit and edit and edit. On this last one is even more detailed for each one. Wands are usually first. So we've got Nine of Wands, Strength, Moon in Sagittarius, Yesod. Small wands are arrows of Diana. Oh, I like that. And put 8 small wands, arrows of Diana. The Master Wand has a moon for its point and sun for its base. This shows the combined swiftness of heat and fire. Okay. One main wand, moon for point, sun for base. Shows swiftness and heat of fire. So I've got my definitions here on the top half of the page, and on the bottom half I'm just going to kind of brainstorm and how is this card relative to my life right now, because it's my card of the day. And I may come back later because I'm actually recording this at the beginning of my day. How will the things in my day have exemplified the Nine of Wands? But I'm going to look into more about a few of these symbols and see some more about that. I'm going to research that on my own. So that gives you an idea of how you study a card for each day. And throughout the day, just think about, how does this apply to your day? Victory after apprehension and fear, right? So be on the lookout. Where is a victory for you? Where is strength, power, success, and opposition, right? Who's your opposing force? So I really like how it's shown with the sun and moon are somewhat opposing, but then in this one, they are aligned, right? So you're working with it, and I see the arrows just showing that success. No one described what this was in the background, so I'm going with star. I don't know if you can see those little white, red, squiggly lines. They kind of remind me of veins. So I'm almost thinking of like flexed muscles inside of an 8-pointed star, which is a little weird. But the 8, I believe it's 8, 10-pointed star behind these. Yeah, now I see. It's 10. Interesting, because this is the 9. I just try and pay attention to those details. There's 8 up here and then 1 down there, so these do have 9 moons on each one. So just those little correlations that go with it. I would notice the colors as well, and things like that. What's in the background? This background is not too busy, but some of them will have designs in the background to also pay attention to. So it's a good practice to just kind of get into it, recognize the card and what it means. I do like these because they do give you a keyword down here along with the suit, and then the number is in normal numbers. Only the trumps have the Roman numerals in this deck. So I'm really excited to get to know this deck. I'm going to keep pulling one card every day, and then on our next episode of Getting to Know Your Cards, we're going to do some more exercises on how to better get to know them. So I'm going to continue to just do this every day until our next time. Thanks.